So thanks for joining us this morning. Well, as many of you may have heard or perhaps have noticed over the past several months, Consumers Energy has been undergoing a major upgrade to Michigan's electric grid. And yesterday, the utility released its reliability roadmap, their long-term commitment to improve reliability and to restore customers quickly when they lose power during severe storms. Joining us to talk about this morning on WKZO is Greg Salisbury, the Vice President of Electric Distribution Engineering at Consumers Energy. Greg, good morning.
Good morning, Ken. Thanks for having me.
Oh, good to talk with you once again. Let's talk a little bit about this reliability roadmap. What exactly is this?
So last year, we developed our latest update to a 5-year plan to improve our electric reliability and prepare Michigan for an electrified future. And we're super excited about it. As we've looked at what customers have asked of us, we know that we have to make major changes so that no matter how bad the weather gets, we can restore power quickly when it's out and it doesn't go out as much.
As you put that plan into action, Greg, what are some of the actions that Consumers has had to take to make this a reality?
The things that you'll see our crews doing across the state are over 6,000 miles of tree trimming every year, up and down our lines to keep those trees back away from the lines. That's always going to be an important part of our plan. Second, we're adding fuses so that if a branch from our line happens to go down, that main backbone stays up, and we know exactly where the outage is, and we can quickly go and fix it. The next thing we've done is more preventative maintenance than ever before. In the last 2 years, we've completely inspected over 50,000 miles of lines, identified critical issues, and fixed them before they break. Those are the three basic foundational elements. We'll also be automating and adding new technology like the over 100 automatic transfer recloser loops we installed last year that allow the system to automatically reroute power and restore very quickly when there's an interruption. We're also reorganizing our circuits so they're shorter and more reliable. And finally, in our plan, we talk about hardening our system. And that can mean undergrounding lines in areas that are heavily treed. It can also mean installing tree wire above ground with extra strong poles so that even if a tree falls, we don't lose power.
Greg Salisbury's with us from Consumers Energy this morning on WKZO as they released their reliability roadmap yesterday. So now that you've undergone some of these changes in the electric grid around the state of Michigan, what results have you seen so far, Greg?
So looking back at last year, Ken, one of our big accomplishments was to be able to restore power to about 90% of our customers in less than 24 hours when they had an outage. Now, we know there was a couple of big events last year. There was a February ice storm, and there was a night in August where we had 7 tornadoes. But even with that, almost 90% of our customers experienced restoration within 24 hours. And we're at it again this year. We had those big winter storms here in January. The first storm, we had over 100,000 customers out of power. We got 97% of them back on in less than 24 hours. Later that week, we had almost 200,000 customers out of power. We restored 87% of those in 24 hours and 99% in 48 hours. So we know that being out of power is hard, but as we committed to in our roadmap, we're restoring faster and doing work across the system to reduce the frequency.
And you're going to make more investments then in this electric grid upgrade over the course of the next few years?
We sure are. This year, we'll be doing another 7,000 miles of tree trimming. We'll be adding over 6,000 fuses, installing another 100 automatic transfer recloser loops, and identifying those key miles where we're going to start burying the lines so that no matter what happens with the trees, the power stays on.
The latest on Consumers Energy's reliability roadmap this morning. Greg Salisbury, our guest, Vice President of Electric Distribution with Consumers Energy. Greg, appreciate your time this morning. Thanks so much for the update.
Thanks for having me, Ken. Have a great day.
And you as well.